Rules of reading. Prolonged companionship with the Quran must become one of your most cherished desires and occupations. Read it therefore as often and as much as you can. Spend as much time with it as you can find, especially the hours of night. In this manner were the souls of the Prophet, blessings and peace be on him, and his companions good in the way to Allah, to prepare them to shoulder the huge and weighty task that the Quran placed upon them. There are a few guidelines and rules in this reward that you must bear in mind. How often to read? Every day you must read some of the Quran. In fact, do not consider a day complete unless you have spent some time with the Quran. It is better to read regularly, even if it be only a small portion, than to read long parts but only occasionally. Allah likes things which are done regularly. Even if little, said the Prophet, blessing and peace be on him, he also warned specially that you must attend to the Quran regularly, otherwise, you may easily lose your gains. The parable of the companion of the Quran is like a third camel. A man holds on to it so long as he attends to it, and it escapes if he lets to loose. How much to read? There can be no fixed answer. It will vary from person to person and from situation to situation. The guideline must be what Allah, after taking into account all human factors, has said: read whatever you can with ease. Al Muzammil. The practice of the companion and those who followed them varied considerably. Some used to finish the whole Quran in 2 months, some in 1 month, some in 10 days, some in 1 week, some even in 1 day. You should, however, bear in mind the following hadith as the governing criteria. One who reads the Quran in less than 3 days does not understand it. Abu Dawud. Once, when Ibn Umar, upon being asked by the Quran, blessings and peace be on him, to read the Quran in 1 month, insisted on doing so in less time, he told him, read it in 7 days and do not increase on this. Bukhari. That the Quran is divided into seven groups and 30 parts gives some indication of what is considered desirable. In this respect, all Nawawi's advice is very sensible. One who can discover deeper meanings by contemplation should read less. Similarly, one who has to devote time in pursuits like education, affairs of government, or important tasks interested by Islam may read less. Under our present circumstances, I think most of us should aim to finish a general reading of the whole Quran at least once every 8 months. This should not take more than 5 to 15 minutes every day, depending on whether you understand the meaning directly or through a translation. But at least on a few occasions in your lifetime, you should also attempt to finish one reading in 7 days or in 1 month, especially in the month of Ramadan. Some time should also be devoted to reading slowly with pondering and reflection, though not necessarily daily. When to read? No time of the day or night is unsuitable for reading the Quran, nor is there any physical posture in which you may not to do so. Allah says, remember the name of your Lord at morning and in the evening and part of the night, Al-Dahr. Those who remember God when they are standing and when they are sitting and when they are laying, Al-Imran. Reading the Quran is certainly the best way to remember Him to companions and those who followed them, says Al-Nawawi used to read it during all hours of the day and night, whether they stayed in one place or were traveling. Yet there are some specific times which are more desirable as they are recommended by the Quran and the Prophet, blessings and peace be on him. Those moments are more rewarding and fruitful. So too there are certain recommended postures. The most excellent time to read is at night, and the most desirable posture is to stand in prayer in one of the earliest surahs Al-Muzammil, as in numerous other places. The Quran tells us so. Al-Imran. The great need and immense benefits of reading the Quran in prayer during the night, however, remain. Hence, you should assign at least some time, however little, even a few minutes with some regular frequency, however long, say weekly or even monthly, for this purpose. To keep as near as possible to the ideal way, it may be desirable if you read the Quran after or before Fajr and Isha prayers, or at dawn or before going to bed. Reading the Quran at dawn is especially commended in the Quran. Al-Isra. To read the Quran while sitting on a chair, resting against a pillow, laying in bed, or on a couch is not desirable, but is not prohibited. But never do so without excuse, nor make it a habit. However, if one totally misses reading the Quran only because one cannot afford to sit in a proper posture, one lost something more precious. Reading correctly. You must read the Quran correctly. At least vowels and letters should be pronounced correctly. Even if you are unable to learn the whole art of tajweed, the Arabic language is such that very slight mistakes in pronouncing vowels while reading may drastically alter the meaning, sometimes totally distorting it. On some occasions, you may be saying things which could amount to kufr. No one can be absolved of trying sincerely to learn to read the Quran correctly, but while you are learning, the fact that you cannot do so should not be a reason or forsake your reading. A non Arab may never master the art of correct reading, or you may have no opportunity to learn. The Prophet was aware of such difficulties when he told Jibrail, I have been sent Jibrail to a people who are unlettered, among whom are old women and old men, boys and girls, and men who have never read a book. You should therefore remember his reasoning words in the respect, though do not make them an excuse to shun or slacken your effort to learn. One who is skilled in reading the Quran is with the noble virtuous angels who bring down the revelation. One who falters while reading it and find it hard to read correctly will have a double reward for reading and for exerting. Reading beautifully. Next to reading the Quran correctly, it is desirable to learn the art of qira'ah in order to read it beautifully, in a sweet, pleasant, and melodious style and voice. There are many hadith which point in this direction. Beautify the Quran with your voices. God does not listen to anything as he does to a prophet with a good voice who recites the Quran aloud. He why does not chant the Quran is not among us. But remember that the real beauty is the beauty that comes with the fear of God in one's heart. His recitation and voice is most beautiful that when you hear him you think he fears God. Listening attentively. Listen attentively and fall silent whenever the Quran is being recited. This is what the Quran itself commands. When the Quran is read, listen attentively and fall silent so that you may be blessed with mercy. Al Araf. Obviously, when God is speaking, you must fall silent, but the Arabic word used for listening denotes not merely an act of physical hearing but also a particular state of attention and acceptance. Asking others, especially those who can read it correctly and beautifully, to read the Quran and then to listen to it is also very desirable. The Prophet, blessings and peace be on him, used to ask his companions to read the Quran to him. You should bear in mind what the Prophet, blessings and peace be on him, has said in this regard. Whoever listens to even one verse of the Quran will be given double to the rewards, and for the one who read it will become light on the day of resurrection. Ahmed. Completing the reading. Khatm. The time when you have completed reading the whole of the Quran, no matter how often you may do so, is a time for joy, celebration, and prayer. Al Nawawi mentions certain rules in this regard, drawn from the practices which were usually observed by the companions and their followers. Although they are not obligatory, they are nevertheless were desirable. Observe as many as often as you can. 1. It is better to begin reading on a Friday night and end on a Thursday night. Some prefer to begin at dawn on a Monday, others pick different times so that no moment is left without the blessing and each bears witness on the day of judgment. 2. Read the last portion in prayer, especially if you finish while you are alone. 3. Gather other people at the time of finishing and supplicate together. When Anas ibn Malik, the companion of the Quran, used to complete the Quran reading, he gathered his family and supplicated. Abu Dawud. Hakam ibn Utaybah is reported to have said, once I was sent for by Mujahid and Ubaidah ibn Abi Lubaba, who said to me, we have invited you because we intend to finish the Quran, and the supplication at the time of finishing are answered. In another version, they are reported to have said, mercy of God descends at the time of finishing the Quran. 4. Fast the day when you intend to complete the Quran reading. 5. Begin the next reading of the Quran immediately after you have completed the last, i.e., read Surah Al Fatiha and a few verses of Al Baqarah. After you have finished Surah Al Nas, this will is in one sense comply with the hadith narrated by Anas ibn Malik. Among the better of deeds is to arrive and settle down and depart. When asked what this meant, he replied to end the Quran and to begin it. 6. Supplicate and pray at the time of completion of the Quran. It is the time when your supplication is answered and when mercy descends from God. This practice has been very forcefully stressed. One who reads the Quran and then supplicates, thousand angels say Ameen. Memorizing. Memorize as much of the Quran as you can. The Quran is unique in demanding to be preserved in memory. The Hifz. The word Hifz itself, though now used in the limited sense of memorizing, includes both understanding and practice. In fact, there is no English word which can accurately reflect its true and full meaning. Hifz is an essential way of making the Quran penetrate you. It is not a mechanical ritual act, it is an act of high spiritual and devotional importance. Only through Hifz can you read the Quran in prayers and ponder over its meaning while you stand in the presence of the speaker. But apart from that, it makes the Quran flow on your tongue, reside in your mind, dwell in your heart. It becomes your constant companion. Also, as you memorize more, you will find it easier to make your inner self participate in its reading and your mind study and understand its meaning. The Prophet, blessings and peace be on him, has stressed it in various ways. Memorize the Quran, for God will not punish the heart which contains the Quran. One who has nothing of the Quran inside him is like a desolate, ruined house. So allocate part of your time for the Quran for this purpose. Go about it is a systematic way. Set your targets over a period of time. All those parts should form part of your list, which the Prophet, blessings and peace be on him, used to recite during prayer or at particular hours of the day and night, or which he instructed his companions to so recite, or whose excellence he expounding. Some other portions will attract you automatically as you read the Quran regularly, and you should proceed to retain them in your memory.